Hello and good morning. Welcome to my channel. I thought I would try my hand at a whip and chat. I've got my phone set up. Hopefully you can see clearly. As you can see, I've got a light here with my little ghosty, my little glow-in-the-dark ghost cover minder. With my light board. Yeah, my light board's not that bright. Oops, trying not to bump you. There, plug my light board in so it's a bit brighter. And I'm going to finish with this section here on this canvas that I'm working on. It's my landscape with train. When I'm done this little section here, I'll maneuver it around and I'll show you how much I've gotten done and how much I've got left. And oh, you can really see the train here. Here's the train. Wow, that looks great. Okay, so excuse me. Let's get started on this whip and chat. I know it's been a while since I've done a whip and chat. Actually, I guess you could say this is my second whip and chat ever. Yay! I'm hoping this setup for viewing with my camera and all that, I hope this setup works. I'll move this over so I can, yeah, there we go. That light is for when I have a hard time seeing the color of the drills in my tray. Alright, so yeah, you'll notice it's mostly blues, but that's okay. So I am doing it in numerical and then alphabetical order, and G was the last one, so I'm on H. Yeah, I would have had this square completed yesterday, but we had a massive storm. Well, I call it massive because the wind was so hot. So the wind was so bad that it was shaking my fifth wheel, and then the thunder was really, really loud. That was also shaking the fifth wheel, and we lost power. So I'm like, well, screw this. I'm gonna go lay down, have a nap while I wait for the power to come back on. And well, yeah, it came back on probably about 8 o'clock last night. I got up about 9 because I have a clock. I have this really fancy, well, I think it's fancy, this really fancy light in my bedroom that I got from Temu, and I love it. I love it very much. It is not only a lamp, but it also shows the date, the time, and the temperature, which is really cool. But when there's a power outage, when the power comes back on, the light comes on, which is great because then I know when the power is back on, because it's so quiet here. Quite often that's the only way I can tell that the power is back on, when that light comes on. But then of course I have to reset the time, the date and the time. But that's okay. I don't mind doing that. So yeah, when I got up from my nap, of course, the power was back on, and the clock on it said it was around 1 something. So that means the power had been back on for about an hour. So yeah, it came, yeah, you do the math. It was about 9 when I got up. So yeah, power came back on about 8. Unfortunately, like, I'm having issues with the sunroof here. My sunroof leaks when it rains an incredible amount. My dad, he came by last Saturday, which was also his birthday, and he did a quick patch job on the sunroof. Because the sunroof is on the slide out part of my trailer, he's very hesitant about actually climbing onto the slide out because he's worried about damaging the slide out, which I totally get. Last thing you want to do is wreck wreck it, cause any kind of damage. So he did the best that he could on a bit of a rush job on the slide out because it had been a really long, busy day for him. And yeah, he had just turned 76 years old. Even though he is that old, he is also a very, very busy man. Maintaining the property where he lives, where him and his girlfriend live. They are busy every day. They have a little garden. They've got a nice little chunk of yard that's fenced in. And they've got a dog, very active, excuse me, a very active dog. Black lab, if I remember correctly. They also have 2 ducks and a chicken. And they have, I showed up on Sunday, the very next day, excuse me, to get some work done on this bike that I had just purchased for myself from the thrift store, so that I can get out and actually get some exercise, and to grab some tote bins full of my stuff that I've been storing at my dad's until I had a place of my own. When I got there, he was building a little gate. Now he has his chunk of land is all fully fenced in. They sectioned off part of their yard for originally for the 2 ducks that they had, and then they ended up getting this chicken that had an injured leg. And any of you that follow Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting on Facebook, you may have noticed some conversations in the past, and I believe I've talked about this before in my other WIP and chat. But anyways, yeah, they now have a chicken, which she will be laying soon, in another month or 2, I believe. The 2 ducks periodically do lay as well. But yeah, my dad, he had, what is it, about a 1.5 foot high wire fence to cordon off that section of yard for the 2 ducks and now the chicken, so that they were to keep them safe. And well, my dad's girlfriend, she was stepping over the fence one day when she tripped. She lost her balance, tripped, and she fell and got hurt. So my dad decided to build a gate. So that's what he was doing when I got there on Sunday. He was just finishing up building the gate. So yeah, he helped me out with my bike. The seat needed to be lowered and everything needed to be sprayed down with WD-40, because at the thrift store. I don't know how long it had been there, but for a little while, out in the weather, so everything was a little rusty. So yeah, so everything got sprayed down with WD-40. He lowered the seat. I took it for a little spin in the driveway in front of their place, and it works great. Yeah, now I just need to find a lock for my chain, and then I'll feel comfortable riding my bike into around town here. It's not a big town, it's a small town, and it's a town where nobody locks their doors on their vehicles. Like, I feel quite safe and comfortable driving my van down and parking it somewhere with the doors unlocked and the window wide open, the driver's side window wide open, and not worried about anybody breaking in and stealing anything. Mainly because my van is a a piece of you-know-what. And the driver's side door stopped opening from the outside. So the easiest way for me to open it is to leave the driver's side window open, so then I can just reach in and open it from the inside. I'm quite certain it's just the wire or whatever came loose inside the door itself, so it's just a matter of taking the interior panel off and reconnecting it, unless the connection itself is broken. In that case, then I'm not even going to bother trying to fix it, because I'm not planning on keeping the van for very long. As soon as I can, I want to trade it in for a better vehicle, preferably a little pickup truck that I can put a fifth wheel hitch in the back, so then when we eventually need to move my trailer, we can do it with my truck rather than paying somebody else to do it, because the guy that moved it here caused damage to the trailer when he brought it here, because he was going around the corners too fast. And so yeah, my dad was not too thrilled. He was not too thrilled at all with what that guy had done, because now he has to replace one of the doors to the there's two storage compartments at the front of the fifth wheel underneath the sleeper, and he has to replace one of the doors because the guy apparently went too fast around a corner, and yeah, he damaged the door really badly. It will not close. It is completely destroyed. Because it will not close, I have it propped closed with a metal rod. I don't know where the metal rod came from, or what it's for, or anything like that. I just used it to prop that door closed, to keep it closed. My dad's already taken the measurements for it. At some point, we will be looking into replacing it. In the meantime, it's pretty quiet here. You may hear the odd traffic in the background. That's because it is close to the highway, very close to the highway. but it's pretty isolated at the same time. Along one side of my trailer there is bushes that are 10 feet high. Must be about 10 feet high. It's privacy shrub. I'm in a campground, and I'm in Unit 1. Unit 2, the majority of the time since I've been here, there's been somebody in Unit 2 twice, both times just overnight. And the second one, I didn't even know they were there until the following morning when they left. It's like, oh, we had a guest. Yeah, so the shrub is so high, I don't even see anything next beside me. On the other, behind me is a 6 foot tall fence. I'm guessing 7 feet tall. Probably 7 feet tall. Fence behind me and on the other side of me. And on the other side of the fence behind me is the office building that is also a house, and it is unoccupied. There's nobody living there because the caretaker that was here, he moved out the day that I moved in here. Yeah, so the owners live in a big city not far from here. That's about an hour from here, give or take. Yeah, about an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. To get to it, you have to pass through, oh geez, three towns? Four towns. 4 towns, all small towns. And one actually isn't even a town. It's not even, I don't think it's even incorporated. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah, it's not even a town. There's no gas stations or restaurants or hotels, or it's all residences. Yeah. It's got a resort. It's got a couple of campgrounds and some resorts, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, he's got people that come and maintain the property here. There is a restaurant on the property here, but it's closed. I don't know if it's ever going to be reopened. I don't know. And then there are cabins. On the other side of the fence beside me, there's a little road. And then on the other side of the little road is cabins that are available for rent. They are available for long-term renting, but it's like, I could rent one of the, like, there's upstairs cabins and then there's downstairs cabins. The upstairs cabins are cheaper to rent by the month than the campground part where I'm at. The only problem is the upstairs cabins, they do not have a kitchen unit. There's no fridge, there's no stove, there's no microwave. If I'm remembering correctly, there isn't even a private bathroom. It's all one open room. There is a toilet, a sink, a bed, and a TV, and air conditioner. If I'm remembering it properly. So, yeah, definitely not something for me to rent. Plus all the stairs just would not work for my knees. I have bad knees, and it comes from not taking care of myself properly, not taking good care of my health or anything like that. So, and the downstairs cabins are monthly more than I make, than I receive a month on disability. So yeah, and even then there is a mini fridge and a microwave, no stove, and the bathroom is a separate room, but still, like, yeah, it's, for me, it's not worth it. So yeah, I also, yeah, I get the chirping of the birds, I get the sound of the vehicles driving by. What else do I get? I hear the train. Yeah, there's train tracks not too far from here. Well, yeah, there's a train tracks between my place and my parents' place. But because this campground is right next to a river, and the area where the train is all open area, the sound of the train, it sounds like the train is like right next door. It's that loud. But I don't mind. I used to, when I was really little, oh, sorry about that, folks. That was just apparently the new caretaker of the place, just giving me a heads up on some stuff and on the place, and everything's all good to go. So back to, I can't even remember where I was. Anywho, yeah, I cannot remember what I was talking about, but yeah, he's a really nice guy. He was here the other day doing the lawn. Apparently the actual person that's supposed to take care of the lawns here is no longer employed, or I don't know what's going on there. Didn't ask, not my place. But he suggested I look into getting a little lawnmower. So when my dad gets back from his camping holiday right now, they took off on Tuesday. Fingers crossed that they've had absolutely no issues with their RV, because they had to reseal. They resealed the entire roof of their RV, and my dad actually had to rebuild the sleeper cabin above the driver's, the front seats, because of rot. Apparently, yeah, they had an issue with rot really badly. So fingers crossed everything's been going well. They took off on Tuesday. They're supposed to be back on Saturday, and today is Thursday, so they'll be gone for a couple more days. So anyways, lawnmower. When they get back, I'll let my dad know that I'm going to have to borrow his lawnmower. I'm going to say once a week. I'll borrow his lawnmower once a week, bring it out here, cut the grass around my place, and oh goodness, yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. Well, it's gonna be interesting because I've got stuff in the way, but the guy The guy that came by today, I told him that he can take I've got a picnic table out there. I don't need it. Don't want it. So he's gonna take that. There's also a wooden chair out there for sitting in front of the fire pit. I told him he can take that. Don't need it. Don't want it. At some point, I'm gonna try and save up enough money to buy myself an anti-gravity chair, because I'm not going back to the big city where I used to live to get mine. I'm not going back to get any of my stuff that I left behind. I would like to, but I'm not going to. It's too much of a headache, too stressful. I don't want to deal with either of the people that are there. Plus, I don't even know if my stuff is still there or if they got rid of it. Which is unfortunate because I left behind a really nice cruiser bicycle that I had bought 2 years ago. I bought it brand new, still in the box. And yeah, put it together at my dad's. Never rode the thing. Never rode it. I also left behind a really nice, I bought that at Walmart, in the big town near here. I also left behind a really nice corner metal and glass corner desk. I had actually bought 2 of them, one for myself and one for my boyfriend, my ex. He's now my ex. We were together like 8 years. Lived together for 9 years. A couple for 8 years. Well, not even 8 years. Anyways, so yeah, I left that behind. I think I got those from Amazon, or it was either Amazon or Walmart. I cannot remember. I just remember that they were delivered. So yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, I left that behind. Not that I would have anywhere that I could. Well, actually, I could get rid of the love seat and put it there. But no. It's pretty heavy because it's a solid metal frame. But anyways, I left that behind. I left some coats behind. My leather jacket I left behind. I had a really nice black cape that I left behind. I had that cape for 20 years and I left it behind. Let me see. I also left behind a scratching post for the cat. The dresser with mirror that I had gotten from my parents. I left that behind. Let me think. What else did I leave behind? I left a box, a U-Haul box full of binders, and the binders were all full of stuff. I left that behind. I left a fair bit of stuff behind of mine. I left behind 2 low black storage totes. Like they were only like about like this high, but you could slide them underneath the bed, right? But I left those behind, and they were filled with stuff that I had made. There's scarves and toques and bags and dishcloths that I had made. I left all of that behind because there was not enough room in my van for all of my stuff, because I still had my cat in the van, so I had to make sure there was room in the van for his stuff as well. So I couldn't have anything that would accidentally fall over and land in his litter box. And I needed room in there for him as well. So yeah, I could only bring so much stuff. I did have plans on going back for more of my stuff, but I kept putting it off for different reasons. And then it just got to the point where there was no point, because it would just be this. I'm trying to lead as stress-free a life as I possibly can. So, on that note, this is a really cool light, because it runs off of batteries as well, but I like to keep it plugged in. You can have, if you want, just a tiny bit of light like that, or it's really cool. I really like it. I'm not going to turn it on because it's pretty bright. But then it just goes like this, and I can actually hang it from this part if I so choose. I'm going to unplug that for now. Jeez. Okay, anyways, I'm going to turn this off and then turn this to show you. I just have this much left. So I could actually divide this into 2 rows like that. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll just divide it into 2 rows. Then I've just got 2 rows left to do. But here it is. There's the train. And then it goes around here. Right? And I'm guessing this is water. And then there's trees here, and the mountains and the sky, and yeah, it's kind of dirty in the corner. Oh, it's water stains from when it was sitting on the table. Yeah, because unfortunately the sunroof is right underneath my table. My table is right underneath the sunroof, and it's leaking from 3 different corners, the sunroof, and one of those corners is dripping directly onto the table. The other 2 are one drips down onto the chair, and the other one drips down to the floor right beside the chair. So I've got a bowl underneath all 3 of those corners. One corner on the table, I had a bowl underneath it last night. I got up this morning and there was water all over the table as well, so now I have a towel underneath the bowl. So yeah, and it's a nice wooden table. Nice wood table has now got stains, water stains on it. So anyways, now I'm going to start on the next row, and to do that, make sure that doesn't slide off from the weight. I'm going to pull out my knife. I got this knife. It's a Mastercraft, and it is super sharp. Oh, jeez. It's a Mastercraft, and here's the blade. So I don't even know if everything that I was showing you showed up on camera. But anyways, yeah. So what I do with this is because it's so bright, I can see through this. This is parchment paper. I originally had this covered with release paper, but then the pieces of release paper kept falling off, so I put parchment paper down, because this has also been sitting for over a month, only half done, if that. So I'm going to go and just go from this row. So I'm just gonna go slowly along here between these 2 rows. And there. Go slow enough. Oh, geez. And you know what I did last time? I actually used my little tiny ruler. And went along like that. But, let's see. Did that work? Yes, it did. Yay! Oh dear. There's something on there. It doesn't look like it belongs. Oh dear. I don't know what it is. But we'll clean up as much of it as possible with these tweezers. With my Tweezerman tweezers. There. Now you can't even tell there was anything there. Pretty good job. So, and then get my little ghosty, put him on top, slide the magnet underneath. Ah, found the magnet. And then I just slide it along like that. Oh, I think that's a good enough size. So then I crease the paper. There we go. Just like that. Can you see it? Yes, you can. Awesome. And now I'll slide this down to here. I don't have any clips to clip the canvas to my light board because I'm using all the clips to hang my diamond paintings. Have a quick drink of iced tea here. Okay, now let's see. We got about 20 minutes left. Because, yeah, I'm going to try and make it an hour long video, but I'll probably go over. If I go over, that's okay. I don't mind. I cleaned my phone last night, so I've got lots more room on my phone for storage. Okay, so let's see here. Because with this canvas I go in numerical order and then in alphabetical order based on my tray. Oh, there's my kitty. He's been keeping guard over my tray. Yeah, as you can see here, numerical 1 through 8. I've got number 7 over here because 7 wouldn't fit here. So, oh. And so, yeah, 1 through 8, and there's number 7, and then A through to U. Now, I actually don't even need, let's see, F or K, because these two were for the train. So technically I don't actually need them, but I'm going to put them both down here because those are colors for the train. I don't know about 8. I might still need 8. I don't know because of the color. I do not know. 7, yeah, 7. I don't think I need that either for the train because it was for the train. So I'm going to put that down there. Okay, so those 3, I don't really need them anymore, but I'll keep them right here. So I'll just continue. And, yeah. Anyways, so start off with number 1. Do I need number 1? Can you? It's way over here. So there are no number 1s. So, well, number 1 is really, really dark, so I don't think number 1 is really, really dark, so I don't think I'll be needing that one anymore. But anyways, number 2. Let's see. Let's go with number 2. because there's lots of 2s along here. This is all a whole bunch of number 2s, and then there's a few in here. So at some point I will be replacing this tray with a different tray. Once I've saved up enough money, then I'm going to get myself a tray from Ephemera 3D. And I'm thinking of one of their totems. Or the Deep Six. I do like their Deep Six Ghost. I've seen that one on Diamond Painting, on Dark and Creepy with Mushy. Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. Yeah, that's where I go, and I love her channel. You may notice I mention her channel a lot, because her channel is the one that I watch the most. Although nowadays, well, it used to be the one that I watched the most out of all the diamond painting channels. There are others that I watch, of course. I hear nothing but good things about diamond painting with Jack. I have not, unfortunately, sorry Jack, but I have not gotten around to watching any of your videos yet. I will soon. I promise I will soon. I watch DP Crazy Lady. I watch Carpe Diem Diamond Painting. She's a lovely woman from the UK. Let me think. Of course, Eileen's channel. I love Eileen's channel too. I can never remember the name of her channel, if it's Diamond Painting with Eileen or Crafts with Diamond Crafts with Eileen, or yeah. I know I said her channel correctly when I did the unboxing from her from when I won her 500 sub contest event. Yeah, so excuse me, there's also Diamond Painting Anonymous. She's a lovely lady from the United States that's moving to Canada soon. Been watching her and learning a lot about the process of when moving from the United States to Canada, because I have thought about moving to the United States, and it's a lot more work than I thought. But yeah, so I've been watching her as well. There's 2 channels that I started watching them before I started watching Dark and Creepy, but I haven't gotten any updates from either of those channels in a number of months. So, and I haven't really checked. Well, one of them I did check to see if she was still posting, and actually the day that I checked to see if she was still posting, she hadn't posted anything since the last video that I saw of hers, which was a live stream. And then later that same day, she did another live stream to talk about what she had been up to since her last live stream. She has not done so. I have not gotten a notification since then. The other one I haven't gotten around to checking, so I don't know what's going on with her, but I really enjoyed watching her videos as well. So one was, there's, if I remember correctly, Gracie's Diamond World, or Gracie's Diamond Painting World, or something like that. She's the one that recently did the live stream. I believe she's from the UK, or New Zealand, or Australia. I cannot remember, but I just know she's from the other side of on the other side of the world. The other one, I just remember her name is Joan. I'm gonna have to check and see if I was somehow unsubscribed from her channel or what's going on there, because yeah, I haven't seen anything from her for quite a few months now, which is disappointing because I really liked watching her channel as well. But Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting, I love watching that channel. I love watching Mushy and her family. They're so funny. They're so funny. Her and her daughter, Leah, or Al, whatever her name she wants to call her at the time. Yeah, they remind me a lot of myself and my daughter. Yeah, listening to the two of them talk brings back good memories for me when my daughter was younger and at home. I know my daughter is she's doing okay with where she is, living with her fiance. I do miss her terribly. I do. Yeah. So anyways, sorry, my depression is starting to come out a little bit. I do take medication for my depression. Some days are harder than others, but lately, my depression is doing a lot better, actually. A lot better now that I'm in my own place, my own space, with my own things. There's no pressure from other people around. I know, like, when I was living with my parents, there was a bit of stress there because of trying to live my life on their schedule. Sleeping when at night, going to bed when they went to bed, and getting up at a decent hour in the morning. Just, it was hard for me. It was very stressful for me to try to do that. Living on my own, actually, in the few months that I lived with them, I got into a routine of going to bed around 10 o'clock at night. Not necessarily going to sleep right away, but going to sleep anytime between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. And then my alarm would go off at 8 a.m. And almost all the time I would just shut it off, roll over, and go back to sleep. But I would be up anytime between, actually sometimes, there were a couple of times I was up around 5 or 6 in the morning. And anytime between 8 a.m. and noon, I'd get up. And my dad never liked that. Never liked that. He did not like me getting up that late in the morning, because they get up at 5 in the morning, 5 and 6 in the morning, and they usually start their day about between 7 and 8, and by noon they'd have almost all of their work done for the day, all the hard work. And it's like, well, I'm not like that. I'm not a morning person. I have a hard time being able to get anything done in the mornings. But since I am now living on my own, I don't have an alarm clock. I shut my alarm off, so I don't have an alarm going off at 8 in the morning or at 9 in the morning or whatever. My cat, Peaches, he starts pestering me. Like, I spend most of the time, I have my door wide open. Most days. The only time I don't is when it's cold and raining out. The rest of the time my door is wide open. A lot of the time my screen door is open as well, so my cat can come and go as he pleases during the day. he sleeps. He sleeps next to the open door. And he spends most of his day sleeping next to the open door. Come evening, he will, once in a while, like, depending on the weather, he'll go outside once or twice at night. If it's nice enough out, he'll go out and he'll wander around and explore and whatnot. And then he'll come back in and use the litter box. Yeah, he's outside, yet he comes inside to use the litter box rather than go to the bathroom outside. But anyways, he comes in, he'll come in, he'll use the litter box, he'll grab something to eat, he'll lay by the door some more. If I close the screen door, yeah, usually around 10 or 11 o'clock at night, he'll start pestering me to go out, because I'll have the screen door closed because of bugs. Because they get attracted by the light, because I use very few lights in here at night. Usually I'll just have the light pad and my lamp on, so the only light in here would be those two lights, plus I have one of those ultrasonic pest repellent thingies that you plug in, and it's got a light that shines down, so it's like a night light, and it's to deter mice from coming in here or whatever. So I've got that as a light, as well as the light from the clock in my bedroom from my lamp. So yeah, the bugs will come in being attracted by the light. So I have the screen door closed. Well, he'll start pawing at the screen door like between 10 and 11, and it's like when he starts to do that, I just shut everything down and I close the door and we go to bed for the night. And I'll just lay in bed on my phone playing. Usually I'm coloring coloring or playing games on my phone, on one phone, and listening to LawTube on my other phone. I have one YouTube channel that I watch pretty much every day. They release a video almost every single day. It's actually rare for them to skip a day. I've been watching this one channel for, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, something like that. But the channel is called What the Hales. And a few months ago, they were discovered by LawTube. LawTube is a group of lawyers, attorneys from around the world, not just in the United States, but around the world, because there's at least one that I've seen from Canada. There's one from Denmark and one from Sweden. And they talk about legal cases that are going on. And What the Hales was going, they've been having issues. They have property in Ohio and property in Florida. Now in Florida, their property in Florida, they just bought it like 2020. So coming on to 4 years now, they bought this property. Big chunk of land. And then, what was it, a year or two later? I can't really exactly remember. These two people, they claim to be fans of the channel, they bought property across the road from Hale's property. They're down there in Florida. So yeah, they bought this chunk of land across the road, and they started doing a bunch of stuff on the property, and they just, I guess they gave off a bad vibe to What the Hales, to the owner of What the Hales, Jeremy Hales. Always pestering him for help and complaining about this and that, and come to find out they're con artists. They're scammers. They'll use any excuse that they can come up with to try and get help this way, that way, or whatever. Money. They were always asking Jeremy for stuff that, like, now What the Hales, the way they make their money, they make money from YouTube, yes, a little bit, but they also buy storage units, like that show Storage Wars. They go to storage auctions and they buy storage units, and then they turn around and they're very Christian, very, very Christian. They are what I refer to as true Christians, because I have come to learn there are at least two different types of Christians. There are the types of Christians that they go to church on Sunday, they do all of their churchy stuff, and then the rest of the week they do whatever they want, which a lot of times is terrible, terrible stuff. But they're like, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm a good person. Yeah, you're a good person, yet you've been arrested for this, or you broke the law in this way, you're treating your neighbors bad, your kids are rude, you're disrespectful, all kinds of stuff. Terrible, terrible stuff. But anyways, those are, I call them Sunday Christians. Sundays Christians, because they're only